playing Invasion. This is basically their auto veto a majority of the season, but now you know we're going already in the middle half of the year. We have to try to play a couple maps that we're not really comfortable at. So we can throw a couple curveballs versus some of these top teams, and none other than High Rise Control going up against Atlanta FaZe, who are literally the best team at this map, to try to test your practice. But it has to be a focus on defense for OpTic Texas. 11th overall in the league compared to Atlanta FaZe, who are #1. That's where they have to adjust.
That is by far the biggest nomenclature we could possibly put up together. 2 for 1, the opening exchange. Atlanta already off to the races on aBeZy. Oh boy, not what you want as aBeZy on your front line like this. It doesn't get any better. Pred's completely dead to rights. Shotzzy does at least find some sort of a response, kind of cauterizes the wound for now, but clock stays paused at 106, and the first tick of progress is looking pretty inevitable.
This is where, if you're OpTic Texas, they know there's no trophy systems to work with yet. The gunny is going to be hot though, so they don't need to use their tax to invest the break in towards B. Just got to now find a trade onto aBeZy, but Shotzzy's not able to get it done. So the first segment is going to be complete, and aBeZy just with the heads up play to get the segment done and get away with his life is just enough for Atlanta FaZe to still keep map control.
Defense though starting to establish itself for OpTic. Shotzzy down low, seen at range. Clean shots though from aBeZy. Simp also following up on the Kenny up top. Here comes the hit for FaZe, trying to get back on towards this B zone. You've got Dashy inside the point, and he's done well to kind of use that tower to his advantage, but still gets flat out overwhelmed. Second tick of progress looking likely. 3-man stack may also mean that this zone is just done and dusted. One more attempt possibly, but aBeZy makes sure no one can contest, and an extra 60 gets tallied for FaZe.
Man, they are putting the beat down right now. That was a very quick, efficient beat play. You had players consistently pushing behind enemy lines, just keeping the kill stagnant. And whenever they needed a 2 to 3 dead, they got it done to secure that beat point. Now 1:25 on the game clock to work out of their base.
Yeah, really well done. Dashy also makes sure that no one can make moves over towards the blue side of the map. So good stuff here from Texas to reduce the life lead just down to, well, now level. Shotzzy on 3 in a row. Has a plethora of weapons, I imagine, to play with, depending on what the situation calls for. And Dashy continues to just lock things down over towards the A side of the map. So this is all about what can Shotzzy do in terms of trying to get together a bit of a spawn trap. And he's made his way at least down to bottom pit. aBeZy at range also dealt with it. It's Shotzzy on 5.
And this is perfect place from OpTic Texas. You can tell that the practice ads are working out to perfection. They usually struggle when you talk about the slaying column on the defensive end. But Shotzzy finds himself on 7 in a row. Just trying to be the playmaker again for this OpTic squad. Already a cruise missile in the back pocket.
Yikes.
He doesn't plan on slowing down. All the kills in the feed for OpTic. Atlanta FaZe forced to hit the reset in the back of their spawn. And that just might be it. OpTic Texas dominant on this defense.
I mean, at one point, this was a 19-17 in favor of FaZe. And now it's 12-5. And Shotzzy is threatening for a double-digit streak. An absolute takeover here on the round 1 defense. Drazah, just not quite. Doesn't make much of a difference. The cruise missile already earned OpTic build a convincing A defense and a huge life margin lead.
And that's how you get it done, man. You only allowed 3 segments to go to in favor to Atlanta FaZe, but Shotzzy just absolutely dominates with his movement, with that MCW in hand. He usually does it with the Rival 9, but this guy is one of the best players in Call of Duty for a reason. Ends on a 10 streak before getting taken down, was potentially trying to break the record. Now you have a cruise missile to work with. You just have to make up for 3 segments.
Yeah, and again, I just want to re-hit the point that you made earlier about how Shotzzy and Dashy against FaZe have, on average, overall KDs of around 0.8. In Control, it's worse than that. So to see Dashy at 6 and 3, Shotzzy just having a world star map to this point, I'm sure is very refreshing to the green wall. And that's not stopping here. B progress already being made and no kills at all for FaZe. This is looking mighty fine for OpTic.
Yeah, they can't get out of the base. It's very, very difficult, especially when your ARs are not having the best performance. Drazah sitting at 2 and 12. He cannot figure it out yet. But Shotzzy's just picking up where he left off. Unfortunately, can't find that fight onto Cellium, but that's already been done and dusted. Finally, Atlanta FaZe are able to get a couple kills to work out of their base. And if you're OpTic Texas, job already done. If you want to secure one more segment, you also have a cruise missile in the back pocket of shots.
Yeah. The thing is, you don't want to get trapped in your spawn here, because the same thing can happen to you very quickly, and FaZe are in pretty prime position to potentially put that together. Cellium up top by Heli. Oh, unfortunate propane explosion. Takes Pred out of the picture, so now FaZe have numbers, and they continue to try to push forward. Nice gunshots from aBeZy onto Kenny. Follow-up from Simp. Not quite fully there, but Atlanta still win the kill feed. Now they've got a 2-life lead and some good map control.
Around helipad, around B Street. forcing OpTic Texas to use reinforcements on one side of the map more than they want to. And at least Kenny now with the route. He's going to find an opening through bottom pit. Pred finds the first blood, and this might be an opportunity for OpTic Texas to get on that game, get on that A point.
Oh, Simp comes back over through the previously captured B zone and deals with Kenny, but Shotzzy's going to sneak around the back again. And Atlanta have no idea that he's making this play. Small moments of hesitation here from FaZe, but they are not going to have the luxury of staying back for too long because here comes the hit from OpTic from the front. Clean kills all across the board. aBeZy, last one standing, and he gets dealt with. So the clock will pause at 50 seconds. Shotzzy getting shots through walls, kills from what feels like through 5 walls, and Kenny's right there on the cross to make sure Atlanta can't get out of spawn. A convincing moment here for OpTic.
Oh yeah, that's already the second segment going to be done. You better try to hit some nades, some stuns to try to take him off to this point. But Dashy with the beams through the middle of the map is able to find a double. None other than Shotzzy to find the third. Shotzzy with the double of his own. Finds himself on 5 in a row and again. As that third segment not to be complete, but even if it's not, 12-6 in lives remaining, we could play TDM.
Though Atlanta battling back. Small moment there where Shotzzy maybe could have stayed on the zone a little bit longer, maybe finish it off himself, but instead played forward for the kill, and now all of a sudden half of that third tick has been depleted. 10v4, 25 seconds on the clock. Drazah still holding on to bottom blue. Does Atlanta still have this in them? Here comes the stack though over towards the point. Shotzzy's on for the first. Atlanta need to go. They need to find a way to get them off. Couple back and forths, but the kills are good for FaZe. Now it's just down to only one more member forward. Pred is the last player over towards bottom blue, and he's been seen by Cell. Atlanta continue to find the kills. Have they missed a moment here if you're OpTic? Last chance to try to break your way in, and Atlanta continue to reap at the kill feed. Kenny has to jump off the top. He's not able to, and FaZe is going to hold on to the round.
Oh man, if you're OpTic Texas, you want that one back. You invest the cruise missile. You were outslayed. They're down by 2 seconds, but at least you get the cruise missile to get invested. Now, OpTic Texas are thinking, all right, we're going to be up 2-0, but Atlanta FaZe shut the door on that opportunity. Now we're all tied up at 1. Just got to make up for these segments now if you're Atlanta.
I think there are going to be some OpTic fans that are going to be breaking down every millisecond of that decision from Shotzzy to try to push forward where maybe he could have captured. Hard to say one way or the other. Hindsight's a hell of a drug, friends. Don't get caught. First couple of kills here for OpTic's defense. Very clean, very polished. First 3 will fall. And Atlanta's really not had good breakoffs in any of these rounds to this point.
They've been getting shut out from OpTic Texas. Over toward the B Street side, even towards helipad as they find another 3 in the feed. Last player out is going to be Simp, but you can already see OpTic Texas are more focused on just keeping these players in the back of their spawn. aBeZy with a great spawn, at least through the underground steps, is able to take down Pred, but still a lot of map control being obtained by OpTic Texas.
Map control is starting to get to that precipice of possible spawn trap conditions. Atlanta trying to teamwork their way out, but just not finding any exits. I mean, Dashy 15 and 9, almost able to collect number 16, just couldn't quite get the regen off. Pred through the middle of the map, gets shot just a couple of times through mid-map, and that's enough for Drazah to help out, find a double, and now Atlanta stacked up, finding the first tick of progress, if not more.
Yeah, first segment already going to be complete, but Shotzzy knows it's at least a double stack on the point, and he just spotted the third player over towards the B Street. So when do we decide to attack? And unfortunately, aBeZy was more prepared for that gunfight. With that rival 9 in hand, that's already going to be out of the way. But if you are OpTic Texas, now you have an opportunity with a lot of map control to keep them in the spawn. But for how long?
Pred, ooh, a little caught here. Tried to chase down a kill with the Renetti. Gets punished. Follow-up elimination from Dashy, decent, but the trade still allows Atlanta a chance to use blue as an opportunity to set themselves up for an A attack. Trophy system down for Cell. Tagged up through mid-map, but still finds a way to get 1 kill. It's just not fully enough for the rest of FaZe to follow up on it. So we kind of neutralize the map with the touch. Both teams coming off of spawn, not fully getting trapped up. We have a 17v14 favoring OpTic.
And there's only a minute left on the game clock. So if you are OpTic Texas, just got to continue to hold down your iron trade efficiently. 2-2 in the feed for both squads, but it's still OpTic Texas in the lives remaining, up by a couple. Pred finding that double at least relieves the pressure on the farthest players pushed out, and now Atlanta FaZe again forced to hit the reset. OpTic just doing a great job of holding down all their lanes.
Yeah, now Shotzzy has the freedom to get forward. And I mean, look at the movement, nearly slips away. It's enough for at least Kenny to confirm his trade, which is more than enough, to say the least. 12v4. Tick progression is going to heavily favor OpTic. as they look to lock up the rest of this defense, and there's really no chance Atlanta does much more damage than maybe a couple of kills here or there. So major advantage for OpTic through 3 rounds. Lots of a call here for Atlanta defensively to really stand tall.
The that they have shown so far on this high-rise control has been beautiful. On the defensive side, they were 11th overall in the league. I know it's because they haven't played the map a lot. Both average of 0.8 versus Atlanta FaZe. They are dominating so far in the respawns.
Yep, absolutely agree. Pred's even picked it up in that last round. Kind of a slow start from him, but on 4 in a row brings it back to about level. Focus towards B alley. Lots of shots connecting for Atlanta, enough to at least get the first. Shotzzy off the regen though. Pred also the long route will create some problems here for Atlanta and spawn, and the FaZe defense is gonna have to kind of figure out and make a decision of what do you want to deal with, as Pred gets onto a cruise missile before being dropped, and with 1 life advantage and a little bit of time ticked off the clock, Atlanta's trying to hopefully counter in their minds to get forward and take away the map.
Yeah, they just want to take away map control. They want to try to put OpTic Texas in the trap as fast as they possibly could, because they got to try to play for a shutout round. Do not give up 1 segment to OpTic, or they will have that defensive side.
Yeah.
It's now all of OpTic Texas rallying the troops over towards the B Street side, but they cannot find an opening. Shotzzy finally does take down Cellium, but it's Atlanta FaZe ready for the trade fights as they find 3 in the feed. All you have to do is take care of Shotzzy, and there's only 25 seconds left. You might have to invest the cruise.
Oh, look at Drazah on the other side of the map. He's still finding kills and forcing OpTic to kind of keep their focus at multiple points. aBeZy taken down at range. Shotzzy's position is known, but Cell really cannot shell with just 8 HP. 10 seconds on the clock. It's going to have to be Kenny to jump into the zone. Everyone else supporting him from a pretty much long range. And they're finding good support at this moment. First tick of progress being worked on. Cell able to track a couple of the shadows, but it doesn't make a difference. Now the stack is on, and OpTic should be able to get at least 2 ticks here. Yeah,
the second segment is going to guarantee themselves defense just in case it does go to around number 5, but it's still OpTic Texas in the lead of the lives remaining. They're still not slowing down in the slaying department. That's another 3 dead in the feed. You can easily hit that transition over, but with Pred being the player coming off the respawn, that crew's not going to get invested early on. So you have to try to maintain map control before you decide to invest that missile.
It may not be invested at all, because now a second gets tallied for Shotzzy on another. Pred once again, half-full drought. Cellium gonna try to check this. Simp at range, almost. And an unfortunate team nade actually swings that over to FaZe. 12 plays 11.
Yeah, 12 plays 11, and now it's all in the hands of Shotzzy on the defensive end just to work with in case anything gets a little bit fishy. But you don't want to give Atlanta FaZe a cruise missile here to potentially find a success on the attack.
Yeah, should be 2 in favor of OpTic. 2 cruises they could possibly use here. But like you said, Drazah now 1 off. Not going to have a chance to find kill number 6.
This round number 5, I feel like every time we watch both of these teams specifically in control, it always goes to a round 5. And it's usually Atlanta FaZe coming out on top, but OpTic Texas in the heavy advantage, try to put themselves up to it in the series.
Drazah is just going to try to play up top and see if he can catch aBeZy's trade. I mean, they're already on towards A. Dashy, at range, dealt with by aBeZy, and now Drazah can actually just get into a kind of a 1-for-1 position, but he gets red and dealt with. So the extra resource not going to get tallied here for FaZe, and the first tick of progress on top of that does not get completed. So focus for FaZe goes back towards B.
Yeah, that's tough, because Drazah was definitely looking for that 1 kill, but wasn't expecting that many players from OpTic Texas still in their base. As the first segment is potentially going to come in over towards this B point, but OpTic Texas are right now just solely focused on taking down Simp. There's no trophy system in towards the B point. Pred over the top is able to eliminate him from that positioning, and Shotzzy is already in the spawn. 38 and 25. Now you have to get past this young man.
Even life count. Only 1 tick tallied at B. Kenny slipping forward, catches aBeZy completely off guard, and the OpTic defense is in prime position for this next opportunity for a hold. Lots of work needs to be done here for Atlanta. May start with Cell. He's just lingering up mid-map. Pred trying to do the same thing on the other side, but kills for Atlanta are pretty decent. Pred's the only one to collect, and the clock will stop at 38 with 2 members on for FaZe.
Yeah, 20 to 20 in lives remaining. 2 players on the point, like you said, but Shotzzy is at least able to take down 1. So now you know where is aBeZy at. He does find a kill up through the B Street side, but that's going to be 3 dead in the feed for OpTic Texas. This might be a moment where you have to try to invest 1 cruise missile to at least allow your teammates to get out of the spawn.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. Shotzzy's going to call it as soon as he pops up. 3rd tick of progress was on the way. Everyone backs off the zone. Cell stays alive behind part of the propane tank, but aBeZy does drop down to 20 seconds on the clock. Drazah and Cell, one of the last two left that could possibly make some motion happen. And actually, Simp is going to sneak on towards A to stop the clock there instead, hoping that maybe Cellium can isolate this 1v1 and then try to finish the progress over towards B, which he gets the isolation he wants, but the gunfight isn't clean. Has to reset. Pred on the chase finds the kill, but progress from Simp is still going completely unchecked. Eventually they get the kill. Drazah on the 15 to play with.
This is where it gets scary, because if you're OpTic Texas, you got to try to invest this cruise now. And that's exactly what Pred is going to do, but do not read the play out of Drazah working his way underground on the deep pinch. That second segment is going to be complete. You're able to take Atlanta FaZe off for a little bit, but the triple stack is here.
Can they get here to touch in time? The contest is over. Cell, 1v3 situation denied. Now down to Drazah versus Dashy. Oh, what a save. Not done yet, though. No more respawns for OpTic. 4v8 situation. Third tick of progress fully depleted. OpTic cleanly get out of spawn and also clear aBeZy off the high ground, and Atlanta are going to take their time and try to reset.
But OpTic Texas so far maintaining a lot of the map control. They're also finding all the kills. Was a 4v8, is now a 3v5. We've seen them clutch up 3v11s. Can they try to clutch up this one? No more respawns now for Atlanta.
Everyone's playing on an island if you're OpTic. Can you catch this Atlanta offense a bit by surprise? Pred seems to say yes, and what a light up he's had in these last 2 rounds. Pistol nearly locks on in time, but the 3v2, 23 seconds on the clock. Shotzzy sniffing pixels, sees both. Just comes down to when does he want to pop up. It's him versus the world in this 1v3. First one tallied cleanly, pistol out, wants aBeZy at range, slips around, but they're on the zone. Both players are there. Shotzzy doesn't have a lot of time, also doesn't have a lot of ammunition, needs to clear off the zone. He gets on for the contest and only finds the first. Atlanta find the final kill and take away the round 5 offense to steal away the control.